Am I just making this video because I thought of the title first and it's a great pun? Yeah. But there's also a secondary fact that also holds some validity. I don't know, maybe it's kind of just because of the pun thing. 3 weeks ago, it was revealed that Robert Downey Jr. is in fact the one who knocks. But as the dust settled and the cheers subsided, one brave voice stood up and said, actually, I don't like this. That voice then started a domino effect of people saying, this is bad. I don't know, man. That's not a Romani actor. How does this work? Just let characters die. How does this work, though? I would have liked something completely new. So this is like a rip on Kang there. No, but seriously, how does this work, though? With some amazing superhero movies coming out in the last 5 years, I think we can all agree that superhero fatigue was just some myth and conspiracy started by Scorsese and his goons. And more accurately, to semi-quote a great one, no one likes a superhero movie unless they know superhero movies are dope as fuck. Marvel will not die to fatigue of genre, but fatigue of execution. And with DC finally looking competent, there's finally a real threat to Marvel. And arguably, this should be the best thing to happen to Marvel in recent times. Strength invites challenge, and in this case, challenge should incite quality, as it's basically adapt or perish. With Marvel cutting down on shows and seemingly listening to feedback, it seems like they're finally getting back on track after floundering for 2 phases. On top of that, they just had huge success with Deadpool and Wolverine, although it has barely been a month, and Twitter has already went from calling it the best film in the world to the worst film in the world. So regardless, Marvel seems to have both hands back on the wheel. Now this bomb dropped from Marvel seems to have people nervy all over again. But outside of this being Doctor Doom specific or Marvel specific, I think we need to zoom out even further than that. Out of this world, out of this galaxy, out of this universe, this multiverse. The multiverse is a concept about which, quite frankly, we know too much. It went from new and exciting to feeling repetitive and cheap incredibly quickly. And maybe it's because people entered that space and managed to seemingly master it almost instantly, that now anything even slightly short of that just feels redundant. But regardless, I think we can all agree people are at least slightly less hot on it now. Marvel's conundrum, and hear me out, is that they still make huge amounts of money. I know, they still make huge amounts of money, they still generate huge amounts of conversation, and they basically market themselves. Deadpool is their most recent success, remember. And although review scores are getting slightly lower and lower with each one that comes out, the box office remains unchanged. So I guess it all just depends what metric Marvel look at to deem success. Marvel is a cinematic universe. They marketed Endgame as a culmination of 10 years of storytelling, building towards something moving forward. So although these make money now, is it still possible to have culminating moments in your stories that you build to when so many of your upcoming projects are focused on bringing in things from the past? And to be fair, they did immediately try to move forwards. Phase 4 was them trying. Kang was them trying. Now, yet they were failing at doing it. A lot of people weren't too hot on the new characters they were introducing or the new villain. And now, partly through factors sure they can't control, but it seems they have pivoted. And ultimately, can you really blame them? Like I said, they make money, which is one metric of success and feedback in a way. People want to see them. The audience had a way more positive reaction to Deadpool and Wolverine than any of the new characters they introduced in any of their solo films. This very quickly got titled as the film that saved Marvel. Whether Doctor Doom was played by Robert Downey Jr. or not, maybe it didn't even matter, because it seems like the takeaway actors from those films would be actors that they brought back from the past anyway. As said for superhero fatigue, it's not real. If it's good, it's good. So even though I at least feel a bit of a fatigue from multiversal stories, I would prefer different ones. And even though a lot of comic book fans may want a different Doctor Doom played by a different actor, if they give us something that's good, then it's good. It might not be what we wanted. I suppose what I'm saying is it doesn't negate the fact that Robert Downey Jr. is still an amazing actor. The Russo brothers haven't missed for the MCU yet. The Russo brothers have delivered the best Spider-Man in the MCU. There's an interesting dynamic they could have there with that character. The Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four apparently look great. Brave New World looks promising. They have cut down on shows to focus on quality. People really like Kate Bishop and Miss Marvel and Elena, and those are all fresh new characters. Mahershala is still attached to Blade. DC are looking steady to provide some good competition finally to Marvel. They can't just coast. And if somehow all of these movies stick to their release dates, then the multiversal story will be tied up by the end of 2027 anyway. So much to look forward to. Are we just gonna ignore all of that because of one casting? You could say it's not all doom and gloom. Sorry.